Welcome to this episode of the Smart Leaders Sell podcast. I'm Jessica Lorimer, sales coach and leadership expert, and I am really excited to dig down into today's episode. Email marketing. Okay, so this episode, I'm really excited because email marketing, people keep telling me it's dead. Everyone's like, oh no, I've got so much stuff in my inbox. Oh, all my people are unsubscribing. Nobody opens emails anymore. It's so retro. And this year, 65% of my revenue came through email marketing. So 65% of my total revenue came through email marketing. And it's one of those things in my business that's been a favorite thing for a long time. And this year, I've already admitted to you, my poddies, that I wasn't as dialed in on email marketing, and 65% of my revenue still came from email marketing. So who knew? And I want to talk to you and be really honest about how you can up your game when it comes to email marketing, how you can sell better through your emails, and how you can actually probably enjoy it more. Because I started thinking about this today. So to give you a little insight into my morning, this morning I had to go to Tesco. Ugh. And if any of you are doing this at the moment, you're probably getting ready for Christmas, you're prepping stuff. And if you're smart and organized, which I would like to think that I am, you will already have booked your delivery dates for your Christmas shopping. I have not done that. And so Tesco, geniuses, evil geniuses that they are, sent me this email and said, "Dear Jessica, you have not ordered a Tesco delivery in, 3 or 4 weeks. Would you like to order some food?" And I sort of looked, I got the email and I looked at my cupboards and I thought, yeah, actually, I cannot legitimately survive on green and blacks and 2 pieces of salmon until Sam comes home. So I opened up the email properly. I clicked on the little button that it said to take me to the checkout. I put all my food in. So I was like, right, okay, ordering my salmon, got my chicken in there, got some food from Max, all this kind of stuff. And then I hit the checkout button and it says to me, "When would you like your food delivered?" And I'm like, oh, this is great. Hoping that it can be delivered in a couple of days' time. Like, yeah, a Monday delivery would be awesome. And I look at it and it's like, the next delivery slot is in 3 weeks. 3 weeks? What? Like, are they kidding me? How am I supposed to survive? At what point will I have to go to an actual shop and give up on chocolate as my main staple for my diet for the next few weeks? So I'm sat there horrified thinking, oh my God, I'm going to actually have to go shopping. Having a minor panic attack that I will have to go around Tesco, because the thing that is worst, the task, the household task that I hate most is going shopping. I just hate it. I hate the trolley rage. I hate the fact that people are so angry. I hate the fact that you wander around. I never know where anything is because I don't go often enough. All these things. I really, really intensely dislike the whole experience. And then they send this little button and they're like, hey, and again, through email, because I'm sat there and I'm looking at the window in despair and it must have been about, 15 minutes or so. And they send me another email. They're like, hey, we know that you are at the checkout point. You haven't checked out yet. Have you thought about click and collect for your order? And I was like, oh my God, there is a supermarket genius out there who knows that I do not want to go into the store, but at a push, I can actually visit the supermarket and pick up the stuff that they will already have packed and taken through the nightmare that is the checkout. I was so excited, like genuinely so excited. And so I was like, woohoo, great, yay, click and collect. And this morning I drove myself to Tesco. I drove into the car park and I was that smug person who rocked up at the little click and collect tent that they have in the car park. "My name is Jessica Lorimer. I would love my shopping, please." And I put all of my bags into my boot and legged it. And it was great. It wasn't quite Tesco delivering to my door, but you know what? I can live with it. I can live with it as a substitute. And it has now reminded me that I need to, do my Christmas shopping so that, we're not just eating lettuce leaves or whatever I happen to have left over from this particular shop. So email marketing in my mind is not dead, because email is the one platform that you are guaranteed to get a response from me on. Facebook Messenger, dodgy, because sometimes it throws things into my Facebook archive. And also I deleted the app from my phone. So actually all those messenger bots that people wanted me to sign up for, I never read those. Like, I never see them because I only see the messages when I'm on desktop, and then I only click on messages from, people that I actually know. And it's really, really rare that anyone I actually know would send me a message on Facebook because they know Jess does not check this. If you send me a message on another social media platform, I'll eventually get to it, but it's when I notice the notification. But when you send me an email is the only thing I have on my phone. It's the only thing I have on my mobile. I can get your email whenever you want, right? You can send me an email 10 o'clock at night, and if I am scrolling on my phone, as I inevitably am, I will see your email. And so for me, email marketing is really powerful, and it's the way that I keep in contact most often with brands and with people. And so for me, it's this really, really powerful tool. And when people tell me, oh my God, email marketing's dead, I'm like, hang on a minute. I must be living in 1999 because I'm on my emails every day. I'm checking them every day. I get a little notification that pops across my desktop when somebody is nice enough to send me an email. And I get really excited about getting emails because I know that emails are usually one of three things. One, and this is the one that I'm least excited about getting, right? Complaints. People like to complain via email. And I honestly do not get many of them. So actually, I don't tend to be, when an email comes into my inbox, I don't tend to be like, oh my God, it must be someone complaining. I tend to be looking at the other two things that it can be. One, it's a special offer. I love special offers. I honestly do. And the email list that I'm signed up for, the products or services that I've bought on the internet or just anywhere that signed me up to an email list, I actually like those brands. So I know that when those brands hop into my inbox, I'm hoping beyond a shadow of a doubt that they have something else that I can buy, that they have a special discount code, that they've got a Christmas shopping night coming up. I don't care what it is, but I'm pretty excited about it. And then the other things I get excited about are people asking me questions, right? When people send me emails, generally it's to ask me questions or to build some kind of relationship with me. And I like that because I'm like, oh, great connection. I like talking to people. I like meeting people and being interested in them and what they do. So actually, my email inbox is a very pleasant place to be for me the majority of the time. And that's because I've spent an awful long time going through and unsubscribing from every single thing that I dislike. Okay, so all those boring Gumtree emails, gone. eBay, unsubscribed. All the things that I don't really ever look at that maybe I set up an account for once to get pre-sale tickets. We'll talk about that. I've unsubscribed from, so I don't see them. I don't get anything that's boring or dull into my inbox. I just get special offers, cool conversations with new people or pre-existing relationships, and occasionally the odd person who says, I can't log in, or I can't understand this landing page, or please stop sending me emails because I'm not sure how I got onto your list ever. And we always do, by the way, reach out to those people and do let them know that we are fully GDPR compliant and that they did sign up for something, so we're not just ripping them off. But anyway, email marketing. Even though I have all these positive experiences with email, people still tell me that it's dead. And in my mind, in the internet marketing world, email is definitely not dead. In fact, there are some awesome people who email every day. They take it to the next level. They email their audience every single day. You can get a daily dose of people like Kat Laterzo, Katrina Roof, as I should refer to her now, or Mark Mahiney, or, other copywriting legends. Ben Settle used to do this and still does. And for me, if people can do it daily, if people are bothering to do this every single day, why would they do it if it didn't generate revenue? Why would I spend my time changing my business model so I can go back to basics, to focusing on email marketing? Yes, I really love it. Yes, I love having pen pals, but also produces a ton of revenue. And so when you're thinking about next year, because now let's face it, we are all in this kind of end of December or end of November, phase where we're like, right, okay, New Year planning. We're already thinking about 2019. Let's face it. Nobody is thinking about December because we are all going to be members of the fully festive, paid up, tequila drinking, wine slamming Christmas crowd. We're not going to be thinking about 2019 planning then, amongst our mince pies and other things that I'm realizing I can't eat now that I'm doing low carb. But it's that kind of thing, isn't it? So email marketing, how can we actually bring it back into businesses? How can we make it more interesting? And how can you utilize email marketing to make you money and generate a better relationship with your audience? So these are my top tips. And if you have any others, as always, I'd love to hear them. So please hit me up with an email, because we now all know that I will get it, and let me know what you think yours are. So the first one obviously is be consistent. Email when you say you are going to email. This is a basic, and it's not just when you set up an email automation, because let's face it, those are the lazy persons, i.e. mine, absolute wins. You can set up an automation and it will automatically send somebody an email, it will deliver something, and then you can send a whole sequence on auto. You don't even need to think about it. But when you're sending your weekly emails or bi-weekly emails, or however often you manage to communicate with your list, people actually look out for you. So if you say, I'm going to email you every Tuesday, if you're not in their inbox every Tuesday, people are confused and they're like, oh, you can't stick to a deadline. You can't meet my expectations. You don't do what you say you're going to do. And that's actually a really important buying factor for people, because if you can't do something as simple as I'm going to stick to sending an email when I say I'm going to send an email, can you really stick to I'm going to get you the results that I say I can get you? And the reality is that if you cannot meet the basics, if you can't stick to your basic timelines, your basic schedules, people can't trust you to adhere to the others, right? The bigger ones, the ones that actually matter, the ones that you feel will make you more money. So be consistent. Set yourself up for success when it comes to emailing. If you know that you're somebody who's like, I hate email and I hate writing, don't say, I'm going to email you every day, because A, pointless, B, total nightmare for you. Say something else. Hey, every Tuesday you are going to get a video from me in an email with my top tip about insert area of expertise here. Great. Okay, cool. I might not get a pretty HTML designed email, but I know that every Tuesday you are going to send me a video, and it's going to be in my inbox and I can watch it at my leisure and it's going to be useful. Fantastic. You could do like we do on a Friday. I send out on a Friday an email that says, here are all the bits of free content that I have created this week. Here's where you can find them. Go check them out. Here's the podcast. Here's what we've been talking about in the blog. All that stuff. People love it. Because if you can email when you say you were going to email, if you can keep that basic promise, you can keep other promises. The second thing is about developing your own style. So I see a bunch of the same emails, and in all honesty, my emails did get like this a couple of busy points in the year when I was totally snowed under and had broken all of my own rules around batch creating content and making sure that things were actually interesting. And so you get these emails that are like, dear first name, I hope you're having a good week. Here's something for free, or here's a blog that you can go read. Love from name. And that's a little bit awkward because you're not really building a relationship there. It's not the sort of thing you can look forward to. You're not opening a conversation. It's just, here is something that you can have. I can't be bothered to write about it in the email. Off you go and have a look at it. And it's more like an alert system. It reminds me of those pages that you get in hospital. And it's like you're paging your entire audience and you're like, emergency, a new blog is out. You must rush to it immediately. And in all honesty, your audience know that a new blog is not this urgent, life-changing thing. So they end up not rushing over there. And if you send it out every single week, it is dull as dishwater. And they know that not every single weekly blog can possibly be a life-changing experience. So they don't go get it. And even with my Friday emails, where we do, this is literally what we send out on Friday. We tell people this is where you can go and find the free content that we produce this week. I try and make it interesting. I give, a couple of little blurbs at the top. I talk about some of the things that have been on my mind that week. I talk about what we would call the story arc or the journey, the reason that we've produced this particular content that week. What makes it important? What makes it interesting? What are my key takeaways or learns from it? So that hopefully, even if people don't go and read the blog or they don't go and look at the podcast or listen to it, they get some value. So when you're developing your own style, don't be boring. Don't just tell people, go and look at this, go and do that. Think about what your style is. Are you trying to build a deeper connection and deeper relationship with your audience? If you are, then you might do it a little bit like me. My emails are very reflective of my personality. They are quirky. I often start them with 90s dance lyrics because who does not love 90s dance parties, right? And also, if you can't recognize them, then it gives you a good 15 minutes to get onto YouTube, have a look and play around with song titles that give you a really motivating or hilarious cheesy 90s anthem that you can go and, get stuck in your ear, have an earworm for the rest of the day. So if you're trying to build this deeper connection with the audience, you might bring your sense of humor into it. You might bring the things that you enjoy into it. Your style might be quirky. It might be humorous. It might be that you are somebody who is letting people into the behind the scenes of your life with your email marketing. It might be that you talk about things that are quite deep. You might be a natural born writer. You might be talking about things that are going on in your life right now. Email, I often describe it as having a pen pal. And that's how I think of my audience. I'm like, cool. What would this person like to hear from me today? What would we be talking about? What would be interesting? What would be something that if we were on the phone having a little chat, I'd be telling them went on for me this week? And that's how I like to do it. But you've got to develop your own style. Perhaps you're snarky. Perhaps you're, somebody who's really super sarcastic on your emails. Perhaps you're information, total hoarder and explorer of all things digital. You might play around with how your emails look. You might include GIFs. You might have little videos that you embed. It might be directing people to an audio. Your email might not be an email at all, right? It might just be a video that you send out each week and let people know what's going on with you. But whatever's hitting their inbox, it's got to have your distinct style all over it so that people can get to know the real you, because email is all about being real with people. And that's how you're going to end up making more money, how your email is going to be more consistent, and also how you can develop this relationship with your audience that's going to increase your income, but also increase your impact in the world, right? Because people buy from people. So if your email is dull, or if it's something that doesn't reflect you or your personality, you're going to find that people won't buy. They won't get the impact from you that they were expecting, that you were expecting. It's not because the information isn't good. It's just because it doesn't sound like you. So they don't read it, and it ends up destroying your open rates and really making your email list a difficult place to maintain. The other thing you want to be thinking about, especially in sales emails, is how you actually sell. Now, a load of people send out these emails, and it always makes me laugh. If you've ever been part of one of these launches, raise your hands in the air like you just don't care. See what I mean about 90s song lyrics? So the thing about launches is that good email marketers will make their launch emails valuable, interesting, and even if people don't want to buy whatever the product or service is, they still want to consume the emails. They still want to read them, and they'll still give feedback and say, yeah, that was really fun, or I took this key point away. Email marketers who are not great, what will often happen with them is that they'll send out these emails that are like, oh, the launch is happening. And the only things that you can find in their emails are the deadline is this day, or the price goes up on this day. And that's all you hear about. There's literally no other value. There's no, there are no case studies. There are no FAQs. There are no consequences. There are no stories or analogies or anything interesting or valuable. It's just, here is the deadline. Adhere to the deadline. The deadline has passed. Oh my goodness, we need more sales. Let's tell everybody we had a tech issue and send out another email saying the link did not work. Please buy from this one. You only have another 24 hours. I'm just sitting here laughing to myself like, oh my God, should I write a parody email sequence? Yes, I should. But it's true, right? And the majority of people, when they are selling to their audience, sell in that particular way. And because it's boring and because it doesn't give any kind of value, people don't buy. And it means that you cut off this huge percentage of your audience that actually a lot of people are paying an awful lot of money to grow in the first place, because we're all trying to spend money on Facebook ads. We're all trying to spend money on paid traffic. We're all trying to spend all this time and energy building our lists. And then for what? So that we can send them stuff that is so boring. They'd rather watch paint dry, and God love them if they ever manage to buy anything from it. That's not how your audience wants to feel. They want you to come into their inbox and make them feel interested and invested and like they're getting value, regardless of whether they're going to buy or not at that point for that particular launch. So when you're thinking about your sales emails, think about how you can make them interesting. Use testimonials, talk about what's happened for other people. Use case study examples. What breakthrough point did somebody have? What breakthrough moment did somebody have where they realized they needed help? And what was their breakthrough moment with you where you helped them realize something that took them to the next level to help them get the best results? Talk about that. It makes it possible for people. Use FAQs. Everybody has questions during a launch. You may as well pop them on a sales page, but also who scrolls that far down a sales page to get to the FAQs in the first place? Put it in an email. What are the questions that people ask? Let them know. Don't worry, you're not the only person who feels like this. Actually, a bunch of other people have asked if there's an extended payment plan, or have asked if it's really true that they can get results, or about the refund policy. You can also talk about the consequences. Don't be afraid with your email list to tell the truth. People who are on your list, generally, they want the truth. They want to be told what to do because they are invested enough in themselves and whatever your area of expertise happens to be, that they don't want to get burnt again. They don't want to spend money on stuff that doesn't work, right? So you have to tell them what's the real consequences. If you do not buy during this launch, what happens? What will your life look like? What will your health look like? What will your business look like in 6 months? Will you really motivate yourself enough to change? Or will we be having the same conversation about the same program, except I'll have raised the price? Don't be afraid to talk about the real consequences to people, because we can't always make people feel super perky about potential mistakes that they're making. Sometimes we have to let them know, actually, we're really concerned about this mistake that you're making, and we want you to do something differently. Whether that's buying from me and solving the problem, or whether that's buying from somebody else entirely and solving the problem, it doesn't matter, but something needs to change. And then finally, and this is my big tip around email marketing, don't worry about unsubscribes. Honestly, I see people unsubscribe. We actually have this really cool feedback thing that isn't obligatory. People can give us feedback on why they've unsubscribed, but also you don't have to. A lot of people don't always realise that though, and I do laugh sometimes when we see people who've written, I should not have to give you feedback on why I've unsubscribed, and I'm like, oh no. And I never know how to make it more obvious that they don't have to leave us feedback. They can just, unsubscribe. But anyway, we have this cool feedback thing, and it sends me a little email and it lets me know when somebody's unsubscribed. And generally from every email that I send out, I probably get between 2 and 10 unsubscribes. And I don't worry about it. In fact, I think it's great, because doing all of the rest of these things, being consistent, having my own style, doing things my way, selling regularly to my list, means that actually I'm polarizing. And I'm polarizing people regularly. And when they're unsubscribing, it means they were never going to buy from me anyway. And I'm okay with that. And I'd rather they realized early that I'm not for them, because actually it makes their life a lot easier. It makes their life a lot less cluttered in their inbox. And it makes my life a lot easier, because then I'm not looking at my list going, oh my goodness, I've got all these people on my list, but only 1% of them open anything. So start thinking about your emails and your email marketing, and whether or not it's something you want to ramp up in 2019. But honestly, if you are honest and totally transparent with yourself, and you go into your email inbox and you're following some of the greats, I follow Amy Porterfield, Tim Ferriss, Tony Robbins, these kinds of people, James Wedmore, all that kind of stuff. Look at, are they emailing you? And if they are, think about it. They're not just doing it for fun and games, even though email marketing is fun and games. They're doing it because it is going to impact their bottom line, and it is going to impact the amount of influence that they can have over their audience. And if you don't yet have that, 2019 may be the year to implement email marketing. All right, my lovelies, have a really, really good week. This is like the penultimate week that we will only have 2 podcast episodes. It's coming. We are coming to that point where we're going to have 3 podcast episodes a week, and I, for one, am so excited. I've already recorded a whole bunch of 10-minute tips and tricks, and it's going to be epic. So make sure you keep your eyes out for that. And obviously this Friday, we have another fantastic guest on our 6-figure success series, the real strategies behind the stratospheric sales success. So if you haven't grabbed your workbook, make sure you do, because this guest is an absolute corker. I will see you on Friday. Have an epic week.